promised me some Polish green ones.
Is he?
Yeah.
Ready? Oh, sorry, mate. Miles away. Well, we are back. How are we?
I'm good, mate.
So, this is a new face on the podcast. Introducing Dan. He is a lifelong friend, but also he's the newest member, new coaching team, aren't you?
I am indeed.
So, just to give people like a little bit of background, obviously, of who you are, because you've been elusive with a private Instagram for God knows how long.
I have been very elusive.
So, where how have you got to this point?
Of sitting here with you today?
Yeah.
How far back do you want to go?
Well, like obviously, like, what's your background like? So sports background?
Yeah, so I went into teaching way back when.
Yeah.
Degree in sport. Then went into teaching sport. One thing led to another, and I turned into a mathematician and engineering teacher.
Oh shit!
So that was a bit different. Did that for about 10 years. Started training, changed gyms, met you.
That's not always a good thing.
Life turned upside down, didn't it? And
what? Okay, so why did you obviously then stop, like, not wanting to be a maths teacher anymore, or how, like, what was the transition from maths teacher to coach?
Teaching was just shit. I used to absolutely love it. Working with the kids was great. I think that with coaching is really, obviously, you're not working with kids, but you're still educating people, still helping people. But the management side of it, the pressure was just insane. And then it was just switched gyms, ended up speaking to you and Tom dinner like 1 o'clock every day.
Yeah. I think it was I think one time you just stood at the desk and I was like, what are you training? He was like, legs. Yeah. I was like, do you want to train? And this, like, your soul just kind of left your body. I was like, do I say no and swallow my... And then he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to have
Can't
to go
say
in.
no, that was just mind over matter. We spoke about it last week, didn't we? And you said it was like the... job interview.
Yeah. Job interview from
hell.
The thing is with me is, like, I'll normally say, like, if you want to train legs, let's go, and that kind of tells me who you are. Yeah. That's like, I judge your whole character off, like, and you like, the thing was as well as, like, you absolutely smashed, because you've been training hard and you've been doing well and making progress, but then obviously it was like a level up, wasn't it, with that training, and then the thing for me was, like, you just didn't quit. So that's all I ever care about. If someone trains, it's like, I don't care what weight you lift. I don't care if it's half of mine or whatever it is. Then as long as that mentality is there to, like, suck it up and endure it. And then it was like, all right, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Yep. And then it was every day from then on, weren't it?
Yeah, that leg session, it was just almost mentally checked out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep moving this weight until Ryan tells me to stop.
It's like a pride thing, isn't it? Like an initiation thing. Yeah. But so what was you doing before that with your training and your nutrition and so on?
Kind of just my own, like, I knew what I was doing to an extent, but I mean, this is what we'll come to, isn't it? I was, like, training hard, like you say, you know what I was like training wise. Like, I trained hard. My diet was always decent, but was just never seeing the results
and then
that I was looking for.
So what do you think that was down to?
Low test.
Okay, the taboo subjects.
Yeah.
So, obviously, looking at, like, low test, how did you then find, obviously, out that you had low test, or what was the indicators that made you think I might have low testosterone?
I just saw the advert one day. I was just scrolling, saw the advert, and it, like, listed like 7 or 8 symptoms, like tired all the time, low mood, no motivation, poor sleep, no sex drive, all the typical things like that.
Yeah.
And I just kind of thought, like, shit, that sounds like me.
Right.
Never even thought about it before, because I kind of, like, trained at commercial gyms. You weren't around people that were using tests, and, you know, it wasn't a world that you're familiar with. So I just sent off for the blood test, £30 one.
How long had you felt like that, though?
Looking back afterwards, it had to have been like a good few years.
Really?
Yeah, but you just don't really realise when you're in it as much, you know, because it's become normal. You just think, like, this is just me now. Like, I am just tired all the time. I've no interest in anything. I've no motivation. You just kind of think it's you.
How did, like, so obviously that's probably, like, the worst case scenario, isn't it, for a guy?
Yeah.
And how old was you then?
30.
30.
Yeah.
And so like, was you questioning, am I depressed? Have I got no sort of drive? Like how did it feel?
Shit.
In a nutshell.
Shit, yeah, because the symptoms like do present themselves as like depression and anxiety. And obviously like that can come from many factors, where everything in life was kind of fine. You know, like there was no real reason to sort of like be depressed or anxious. But yeah, I just had like no interest in doing anything. I'd go to work, come home, nap on the sofa straight away, like 2 or 3 hours, get up, go to bed.
Right.
That was it. You were just knackered all the time. It was no matter how much you slept, you just had no energy, like just no drive.
No drive to do it. No, like with the people I've spoke to in the past about like the TRT stuff, it's like there's just no joy in any of it.
No.
It's like it's like almost like a numb feeling.
Yeah, because like for many years, I was season ticket holder at Bolton. I used to absolutely love going, and you get that buzz every time. Then it's like I was just sitting there, and like we'd score, we'd win. It was like
not bothered.
And
just
just it's like I could have won the lottery. I'd been like, don't give a shit really.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That's nice, but I didn't feel anything either way.
That's what I meant.
You know,
that's
I wasn't
numb
like,
to it.
yeah, I wasn't high about anything. I wasn't really low about anything. I was just kind of like, I'm just existing.
How did that affect you? Like obviously, at home at the time you had a missus at the time, didn't you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Hard, of course, because like you kind of like attribute to them as well, because you're like, well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this together. So you start kind of putting the blame on the other person and the relationship as well.
Start looking at it in a different light. And then, so like obviously with work and stuff like that, like did that take a massive impact as well?
Yeah, because teaching was stressful, so obviously that didn't help. And you have to really care about what you're doing in teaching to be effective. And then just over time, I don't even care about this.
You just did, yeah, like literally. Was it like, did you see it like even like, I've seen people as well, like say it was like borderline, almost like symptoms of depression. It's like self-care goes out the window, like everything just kind of is a snowball effect. And then I think what from my, you might tell me differently, but like it all just has a domino effect then. It's like you've got no sex drive, you're feeling depressed, you've got no motivation. It's like you don't take care of yourself as well. You're trying to train, you're trying to eat well, but then you're not seeing the results that you need to get or you should be getting for the work that you're putting in. And then you just kind of like are lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then obviously you've seen the advert. Who was it for like one of the big companies?
Yeah, private clinic.
So how did you go about then obviously that process?
Yeah, so I ordered the blood test through them. Like I said, didn't tell anybody. It just got delivered. It was half term, so my ex-missus is a teacher. So we'd been out, come home, and the package was there. But obviously I'd not told her, so I was like trying to sneak this package up. She's like, what's that? I was like, nothing, don't worry about it.
So just to delve into that a little bit, like, why do you think you can't tell people about it?
I don't think people understand. Because like testosterone, it's just like steroid. That's it. It's that taboo subject, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because people just think steroid, then you are kind of like going into realms of bodybuilding, and it's not. It's just medication. And the other thing, you don't kind of want it to be something wrong. You know what I mean? Because if you explain those symptoms to somebody, they're just like depression, anxiety.
I've seen that many times with like GPs.
Yeah.
It's like literally go into doctors and I've got these symptoms, even with myself, and they're like, oh, just take antidepressants.
Yeah.
And you're like, sorry? That just masks the whole thing. It doesn't actually solve it.
Well, we had a conversation with the guy from the gym, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he had low tests and he went to the GP and they give him antidepressants and Viagra. It's like, that's what they sent him off with.
And then you're like,
wow.
It's mental, like it's absolute negligence. And what I've found as well is, even I was on the way here, even this morning with the conversation with one of the guys, he's like, I've had my blood work done by the doctors and they said it's fine. And they sent it me over and it's like 8 nanomolar. And it's like, that isn't fine, mate.
It's not.
You're 32 years old.
Yeah.
Like, that is rock bottom.
Yeah, but it's normal range.
Yeah, because it's in the parameters of normal range and they don't want to prescribe testosterone because, and even if they do prescribe it, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's done so badly. Like there was that guy in the DMs, wasn't there? A little just before Christmas, and he was going to the clinic because they won't let you administer it yourself unless it's the gels. Gels are shit. He was going to the clinic every 10 weeks and they were putting a gram of undecanoate
Every 10 weeks.
every 10 weeks.
And so there's just a crack.
Yeah.
It's the worst possible way to do it.
So I was like, how do you feel? And he was like, for 3 weeks, top of the world. It was like, next 7 weeks, absolute shit.
Yeah, the half-life on it is.
Yeah. And they did his, so I was like, what's your test sitting at now? And they'd just done his bloods. And I think it was like 9 weeks after his last jab. And he was like, it's low again.
Yeah.
Because it's all just fucked off out your system.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so. It's a stupid protocol to do it. So you obviously got the blood test. How was that process?
It was like a massacre in the bathroom. Because it was just a finger prick one. But because I was like almost like doing it in secret. It was like run upstairs with this package, like going to the bathroom and like you're pricking your finger. You're like, your hands start sweating. There's just fucking blood everywhere. So I've managed to do that, but I ended up using about 4 fingers to try. Like, you're only filling like this little tub, aren't you? So sent that off, come downstairs, but then I had like plasters all over my fingers and there was blood everywhere. And she's like, oh my God, what have you been doing? So I was like, right. So filled her in, that was fine. Sent it off and then it come back a few days later and it was, I think it was like 6 point something animals.
Shit. So yeah,
so
no wonder you was feeling like death.
Yeah, that was low. So that kind of like, it was a relief in a way that it come back as that.
Yeah.
Because then you were like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like we know we've got a solution for this.
Yeah, there's a reason why I felt this way. And there's something we can actually do about it. You know, like if it come back and my test was still at like high 20s, you're in like, shit, it is. Yeah. There's something else.
Yeah, something else. So was that like obviously a relief then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what did them guys do for you on the back end of that test?
So then it was full blood panel.
Okay.
Check all your markers, and then consultation, because like say you can still be at the low end, but if you've no symptoms, you're sweet. Or you could be still in normal range but have symptoms, and then you can still be prescribed.
Yeah.
So it's consultation, which was fine. So then you kind of like excited to start. You're like, right, let's go. And it was like, yeah, it'll take about 6 weeks before we actually get it to you. So then you was like, you're up here because you're like, yes, we're going to get started and fix this. And it was like, oh no, we've got to wait again.
So it's just waiting. Lengthy process.
Very.
And then when they obviously prescribe that, do they give you information about it, like how to do it, or what's the?
Yeah, they'd just sent you links to YouTube videos on how to do it. Yeah, and they were actually outdated videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was different to the information pack that they sent because the videos were still telling you to, you know, when you stick the pin in, to draw back on it to see if any blood comes through. So you're kind of like, well, do I do that? Do I not? So conflicting information that they'd sent out.
Quite a daunting process.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people like us, I always remember the first time, years ago, but first time I was like, what the fuck? It was all like, to me, obviously now it becomes the norm, and obviously bodybuilders have been doing it for years, but I guess like that first time on your own, and then again with the whole taboo of it, like not being able to really talk to anyone about it, not really tell anyone or ask any advice or have any sort of communication with anyone, it's a big thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so obviously like then you've taken the testosterone. How do you feel?
Like a teenager again in a way.
Really? Yeah.
It took about 6 weeks or so, you know, for it to actually like kick in. And it wasn't sort of like you woke up one day and you were like, bang, here we go. You just started noticing little things and you're like, oh shit, like I've just watched that on the TV and I actually laughed. Yeah. Because like The Office was always like my go-to. Like I've watched it so many times, you know, like I'd just sit and watch it and it was like, I don't find this funny anymore. And I was like, I don't know why. And then I was just sat watching it one night and I started laughing. And you know, when you realise to yourself like, oh shit, I've just laughed again. Yeah. Like that's the first time I've done that in however long. And then just sleep improves, your mood improves, energy, you start seeing results in the gym again. Yeah, you start seeing everything like that side of things. It's not like that overnight sort of bang, here we are. But yeah, it was like genuinely like life-changing. Yeah, life-changing. Yeah, that's why a lot of guys and we spoke to in the gym and stuff, even yourself, it's just like worlds apart, isn't it? You think, oh, this is how I'm meant to feel. Yeah. Like, and if anything, probably just hope that you did it earlier than later. When you obviously then
Do they do regular blood tests every month, or how much does that cost? Or
yeah, that was a pain in the arse as well, really. So you had to send off for the blood test, which is fine. Like, you have to send off for it, and that gets delivered. Then you have to book in at Superdrug. So it's like, when you're working full time, you can't get booked in. It was like 3-4 weeks before you could actually go and get your bloods done, send them off. Then obviously sign a post box, which you don't want. And then it was literally someone from admin would send out your results, and that was it. And you just got like your results, and like there might have been markers out of line, and then it was up to you to then go back and ask and say, well, that's
no information on the back end.
No,
nothing.
No, it was an absolute
no doctor's notes. No. What?
So you'd ask a question and say, because like my prolactin was quite high on one, so I emailed back and I was like, says this one's high. It was like double the top end of normal, so it was like high. And then it went back to admin, and it took them like 24 hours to respond, to ask me a couple of questions, and then I like replied to that. Then they got back to me another day later. It was like, oh, we'll pass it on to your consultant. Then it was like 2 days later, the consultant emailed admin. Admin then forwarded it to me. That was more questions, and it was like back and forth, and it took like two weeks.
Which is way too long when you've got
this
issues.
Conversation.
Yeah.
So then I started just asking you and Tom.
Yeah.
At the gym, didn't I?
Yeah.
I was like, my bloods have come back here. Like, what do you think on this? And it was just like, I'm getting far more support from
us guys,
you and Tom,
from us,
than this company that I'm like. I was paying. It was averaging like £200 a month.
Yeah, just for blood tests and no information.
No, it was a bottle of test every 10 weeks.
Shit.
That's it. So I was paying like £200 a month. For that, essentially.
Which is extortionate.
Yeah. And then even they never told you when you actually needed a blood test, so you couldn't like factor it in to book it in advance. So there was one time I'd come to the end of a bottle, so I put the order in. Nothing happened. Chase it up, and it was like, oh, you need a blood test. It's like, why didn't you tell me in advance?
You're just back at the square one. Like you've got the solution, but then it's like, right, we're now back at low test because I've not got any test.
Yeah. So then they wouldn't send another bottle of test sip out without the blood test. But like with work, I couldn't get in to get this blood test done in time. So they were just sending me the 1 ml vials of prop.
So
that was it, like the little ampules. It was like,
where prop needs to be jabbed more frequently, and then it's, if you haven't got a supply of the prop, it's like a nightmare.
They didn't tell me that either.
Oh really?
No.
They just
So I only like found out like obviously prop is in and out a lot quicker. You need to jab a lot more frequently after.
But from like us, from us, it's just complete negligence in a sense, isn't it? On that side of things, it's like, we've got the solution for you.
Yeah.
It's almost like the GPs. It's like out of sight, out of mind. Like you're done, we're sorted. We've got your money. We'll take your money. And then even with the side of like, we know it ourselves as like training, nutrition. It all comes into play. Even if you don't want to develop your physique, or it all makes you feel better, like your mental state and your physical state is going to dictate each other. So it's like, if there's none of that information on the back end of it as well, it's like, it's just a bit of negligence. So you obviously, then how did you move on from that then?
Well, just on kind of like the negligence bit, when I kind of decided like I needed to move over to you guys, I got in touch with them and said, look, I want to end my subscription, and they were just like, oh, we'll knock like 25% off. I was like, no, because the service like ain't great, and they were just like, okay, we'll cancel it by. And there was I was like thinking like, surely they will advise on how to proceed over the next however many weeks as to like, PCT or something to kind of like bridge that gap. And it was just kind of like, no, see you later. So there was no like aftercare for it or anything, because even like when guys leave us coaching, if they have been on cycle or been on anything else, we still give them that aftercare.
Yeah, of course. Cause
so it was
nothing.
there was just nothing.
It literally just like money making, really, I guess. Yeah, just money making racket, and just we've got the testosterone and we can give you that. We can do the blood test, but then the thing is having the blood test, but then it's like, well, you need to know the reason. You need to know the actual information of why, because again, you're still just left in the dark. And maybe they'll probably do that because you'll always then need them. But then if they're not giving you the actual information you need, then as you said, you don't fucking need them, because it's just stupid, isn't it? It's this ridiculous sort of process. I think a lot of the companies are jumping on this now because it is huge and as we said, like, even just in our gym, the amount of guys we've spoke to and the amount of times they've had blood work at 21 and it's come back really low. They know that this is a big area for everybody and a big problem for everyone, so they're obviously just capitalising on making money in that way, aren't they?
That was the worst one I've seen.
The 21 was it
2.8 nanomoles, and
he hadn't ever been on gear or anything.
Nothing.
That's mental.
Nothing. He'd had insane amounts of antidepressants when he was like 17, 18. That's probably contributed to the low test. Yeah, because like obviously antidepressants can do that. But he was just leaving the gym one day, and he was with his mate, and he just like hung back a little bit, and he was like, "Dan, can I just speak to you for a minute?" He was like, "I just feel shit." So I went through all the symptoms. I was like, this sounds familiar, mate. You can see it from a mile off as well, can't you, guys? And even the guys that we spoke to, even at that point, they're very like reluctant to delve into it, because again, like you say, just the taboo factor of it all, and I don't want to be on steroids, and we had that client who came to meet us at the gym when we had, was it at Ultraflex? Yeah, Normanton,
yeah, and he was like, I don't want my friends to think I'm on steroids, and it's like, you need to get away from this thing of testosterone is actually within the body. Like, it's, if any woman with menopause, they'll have a solution for it. But now I just don't think there's enough information on, well, as you know, there's not enough information on this subject or on people feeling like this. And then even looking at, like, it baffles me, because you're looking at the suicide rate of men in the 30s, and then you're like, it's not because of Instagram, it's not because of like financial issues, they're a contributing factor, but then it's like, just get your testosterone tested. Yeah, because then, and even down to the normal person who just wants to keep the health in check, it's like, just get blood work done.
Yeah, it's 30 quid.
Yeah.
It's 30 quid. And what your post yesterday, was it 1 in 4? Yeah,
1 in 4 men, yeah.
I think it's much higher than that, just from the conversations we've had with guys in Tom's gym in one small town in the northwest.
Yeah. It must be more.
So many more.
Must be more than that. So obviously from then on, you started working with us guys. How was that?
I was groomed.
You was groomed.
I was groomed. No, it's been great, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been really. Yeah, to be fair, just seeing the transformation from yourself, like from an outside perspective, from first meeting you to obviously where you're at now. Obviously, I think the first conversation we had was about this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally about, because I'd done a post on it.
Yep.
On about testosterone, and that was the first conversation, and then seeing how you've obviously then developed, and even just come out of your shell. Obviously, we've got closer as friends, but just coming out your shell a lot more, and then obviously seeing the transformation from a physical side, but also from a mental side, has been in 12 months absolutely huge, isn't it? Yeah, it's massive. And then the knowledge that you've gained is massive. You can just help so many more people with it. So when you so now, like, obviously you've got your nutrition and training, anabolics and everything in place, like, how have you found that process?
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like working with Tom on that. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, well, so like, what's the difference between doing it on your own and then obviously having a coach? Because you never had a coach before, had you?
No. The accountability, because if it's on my plan, I've just got to do it, and I cannot lie to Tom. I can't lie to him.
No, that's the thing with clients as well, is like, we know if you're lying. we know. Like, we always have a laugh, don't we? Like, he's just lying. He's not.
Yeah, even on my check-in form, like, where it says like, have you stuck to your plan 100% this week?
Yeah,
I have to put yes.
Yeah.
So I have to stick to my plan, because I can't say to Tom like, no, I actually did this. I've got so many Easter eggs still sat there, because I thought we would have been out of the cut by now. So I was we're just going to put some Easter eggs in, but we've gone back into the cut. So they're still just looking at me. I was like, I just want to eat.
How have you found like the dieting process, going through it? Like, what's it changed for you? Has it changed anything? Has it
Consistency, big time. Like training days, my food was always decent because like your routine, and then rest days, it would just all go out the window.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm not training today. Getting nutrition on point 7 days a week, huge difference. Particularly like after a rest day going into that next training day.
Yeah.
Because you've got the correct nutrition in the day before. That obviously goes into to training the day after. And then just making little adjustments along the way. So we were in a cut, and quite early on, Tom actually upped my food slightly for that recovery. And it's sort of like most people would go, I'm cutting, my weight's coming down, take the food down. He was like, no, we'll put food up a little bit. So and the support side of things, and obviously what we're really big on is that education side of it. You know, it's not just like, there's your plan, off you go. Yeah. It's like, we're doing this for this reason and this for this reason, we're adjusting this. Yeah,
I think the beauty of it as well is the more and more people we work with, the more and more questions we get, the more and more, even like you said with the outdated videos and things like that, we're like forever just trying to make this process for people easier. Or just, again, just giving them, learning from the mistakes of others. Like, as you said, you get a blood test back and there's no information. And there's no follow-up, and there's no reason why you're doing it, and there's no information. Like I always say for our clients, there's one thing knowing what to do, but you understand the importance of why you're doing it, you're going to stick to it tenfold. So how's training been, obviously, when you've been on the cut?
Good, really good. Obviously, like, food's still at a good number. So like 2,800.
Yeah, so that's not changed, is it? No. And then cardio was at like 30.
6 lots of 30. So
did that started off for none?
3 lots of 15.
Yeah, you was like, cardio's easy, and then now you're like
3 lots of 15, 6. I've become very familiar with the Stairmaster. But he's just become part of my routine. Yeah. Like, I really enjoy it. It's like, get up, go and do Stairmaster first thing, or like 4,000 steps and then do Stairmaster at night. But just going back to what you were saying a moment ago, about like the knowledge and stuff, it's kind of like having solid advice. Because if you go online, which so many guys do, and obviously, like, as we speak to clients and consult calls and DMs, they're like, oh, I saw on Instagram this, and I saw on TikTok this, and then Dave in gym said do this, and you're just like, oh my god. Yeah, like, it's just cut through the bullshit, and it's like,
this is the formula.
This is what we're doing and why. Yeah, you know,
we had the conversation the other day about anecdotally doing things. Like, you can only really learn coaching by experience and doing it more and more. And that's the thing as well with people. It's taking that guesswork out for them. So it's skipping 5 years of like guesswork. Yeah. Because people could trial things. One, they're probably not going to stick to it. Two, they're going to chop and change because there's so much information and so much advice. And then also it's like, when they then fail at that thing, it's like, again, starting again, where with those guys, it's like, you literally, the progress that you'll make is second to none. Like, people see it with the transformations with 12 weeks, it's like, that's not possible. And I'm like, I'd take that as a compliment, right? Because it is possible. It's just because all the guesswork's taken out. Yep. And then even down to like the support, like you said then, it's like, you can't get it wrong. And if there is any issues that you do have, like, let's just say one of my clients, he's just pulled his back, it's like, right, how can we work around that? Like, it's that support there. You're not just left to your own devices of like, well, I'm just going to give up now. Yeah. So
yeah, I've had it with the 8-week elite. We're 2 days in. Woke up, message from a guy. He was like, I was playing touch rugby last night, I fallen and broke my collarbone. So I was like, thinking he was going to, like, this was a big message. I thought at some point he's going to tell me like I'm dropping off. He was like, what can we do about it? Yeah. So like, just rewrote all his plans, figured out what he could and couldn't do, and kept him on. I think he probably would have dropped off. Yeah. Had it not been for that sort of level of
care and
attention to detail from us, like saying, no, we'll do this, readjust everything. So he's like a month in, he's about to storm down still, but he's still got this broken collarbone. His missus is driving into the gym and back. Really? Like, he can't get there himself. Yeah,
I love that, man. Absolutely. That's what I mean. Is like, how have you found, obviously, going from being a teacher, like high level, then going into like the coaching realm? what's it like? How do you feel? What's the difference between it, or how do you feel about it? Or?
Like a lot of the skill set is transferable. You know, because you're helping people, you're educating them. It's just in it's different context.
Yeah, different.
That's all. The nice thing now is like people genuinely care about their own progress. Whereas like when you've got, like I was teaching college kids and some of them were, you know, just there because the parents had made them, got there, they had no interest in being there or doing maths, and you were trying to like drag them through it. And they're not arsed, but like these guys are coming to us because they are bothered.
Yeah. So they appreciate the actual education and support more. Yeah. How does, like, that's the thing with coaching as well. It's like our ethos is help as many people as we possibly can to be the best version of themselves. And as we said before, like that then just transcends into every aspect of their life. And it's amazing to see the progress that somebody can make within 12 weeks of just not even like from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. It's like I said with yourself, like when I first met you to where you are now, it's completely different world, and it's nice to see that as well. With the TRT things, like obviously there's going to be a lot of people on the sort of having this in mind. Even when you put it into Google, it's probably one of the most searched things. What would you say to them people, like if somebody is on the brink of like thinking about this?
Get the blood test.
Yeah.
First of all, because if you're thinking about it, the chances are you do have low test.
Yeah.
Like if you tick those boxes, and then kind of reach out, get that support.
Yeah, get the support.
Speak to us.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's what we do. But yeah, don't just kind of like think this is me.
Yeah.
No, like this is how it's meant to be for the rest of my life, because it's not. You know, there's just a hormone that's missing in your body.
Yeah.
You know, that can very, very easily be rectified.
And then you can then push on to do even better things, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I think. So, what's your plans now then?
In terms of
like, so you're obviously on a cut.
Yep.
How long have you been on that? So 14 weeks?
Roughly. Yeah, we had the 10-day the 10-day break, didn't we, where we started to reverse out of it, and then you came back and decided we were carrying on.
No, I just
that's exactly what happened.
Don't make me out to it. I'm not a pusher like that. No, but I think one of the things that I always say with ourselves is we walk the walk. And you can only really empathise with somebody. Again, this is why you're the expert in TRT, because you've been through that whole process. You can empathise with people, and you can actually speak on experience. So when we pushed the cut to a certain point, I was like, yeah, we're lean, but there is another level to go to. So let's take you all the way there, so then you can really feel. Because again, if you've not done it, you can't really speak about it. The book will say one thing, and the body and the mind and everything else, like as we just said then, like many factors of this is the mental side of things. So when you're taking clients through these dieting phases, and you're taking through to photo shoot preps and so on, it's like if you haven't experienced that, very difficult then to relay that to a client. So I was like, okay, well, let's push this a little bit more, see how far we can take you to that level of conditioning, which is what we're known for, and then you can really speak on that, innit?
Yeah, and you're just in a really good spot then to come out of it.
Yeah.
You can just grow for longer. Yeah,
this is one of the things I say to everybody when they come to us. It's like, let's get your body fat levels down first, because then we can rebuild from that. And one of the fortes of what we do within coaching is you'll probably have more muscle than you had when you started, because of, like you said, the consistency of everything, the knowledge, the adjustments that have been made. To say like your food hasn't changed pretty much the whole dieting process or even gone up, it's like nobody else really does that, or no one would know to do that.
No, my strength has continued to go up. Like I said, we're 14 weeks in cutting. I think I'm like 30 pound down now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Your waist has come in
15 centimeters.
Mental, that, no?
Like I think I'm down to like 29 inches.
Penis size, though. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on people's check-ins form. Penis size, just to see who's hanging. But no, that's the other thing as well. Like, that's Cialis. So let me have a good dick day and fucking put that in there and see where see where we're at. Mate, shit dick day. I'm not sending my measurements. Yeah, I can't check in because it's cold. Yeah, wait till the temperature goes up. Get some blood in it, mate. Yeah, I think the other side as well is the community that we build, building that community and having team meetups and team days, and it just gets everybody together who are of the same mindset. Yeah, like you'll listen it when we go to shows, like you obviously experienced it that firsthand, and it's crazy because to think that you didn't really know any of that bodybuilding world, did you, before?
No.
How's that been going into that, like seeing people go through that? You like obviously not seeing me do it yet, but seeing Tom go through that process and other people, like what's that like? What?
It's madness. Seeing it
in a nutshell.
Yeah, like obviously because I take everything like seriously now, and the amount of people that say to me like, "Oh, when are you competing? When are you competing?" I was like, "I'm not."
Yeah.
I was like, "I've been there. I've stayed with these guys the night before the show, the morning of the show. I've seen what they go through."
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
They do that.
And then when we went to Hull, to the Hull show last year when Mateus compete, and like you had a few guys in there, and there was about 8 of us because it was like me, you, Tom, Tomo, Dylan, Dom. There was like quite a few of us. And everyone was like absolutely buzzing. Like, I can't wait to get back on stage. And I was just sat in the middle of you lot, and I was thinking, I couldn't think about worse, to be honest, than this. But actually, like, being part of it is great, and being part of that like team and community and going to the shows, stepping on stage. No,
that's the thing as well. Like, that's one of the things that we have with coaches. Like, oh, you only prep bodybuilders. It's like, no, we don't. We prep everybody. Yeah. Like, obviously, with the guys, like we say with yourself, it's like it's lovely. It's nice having you as part of the team now, because it just allows us to then help them people even more who don't want to step on stage, who don't have any. They just want to feel better. Yeah. And it doesn't even come down to vanity then. No. It transcends eventually when you start. Well, you'll tell me different, but you start seeing the results. It'll then start to, oh, okay, what am I capable of? But originally, like initially, it's just to feel better, isn't it? Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Like when I sent off the test and it was like, yep, you're low, you qualify, we can prescribe it. I was just like, I just cannot wait to feel like a normal human being again. Yeah. And that I was happy with that. That's all I wanted. And then, as you say, as you start seeing that progress, one thing leads to another, and then like 2 weeks ago, I'm in photo shoot. And it's like, what am I doing here? And like you said about me, sort of like coming out of my shell. It's a funny one because like I was teaching for so long, so to most people you appear a very confident person because you can stand up in front of like a class of 30 kids and teach. But it was kind of like, that was almost like fake confidence. It was like an act, like a persona.
Yeah. But then since being on TRT, it's kind of like, no, like I now have this confidence. Yeah. You know, like you carry yourself differently. And then obviously like just because you feel better, you start looking better. Yeah. That's a positive snowball effect of everything improves. So
that's what I was saying. It dictates everything through a physical standpoint, to a mental standpoint, to an emotional standpoint. You just feel back to how you should feel. Yeah. Like people are walking around and they feel, like you said at the start, like they just think this is normal, and it's fucking really not. Yeah. It's really not.
And like you said before about you start stopping doing things so you don't necessarily take care of yourself the same way because you're not seeing the results and you don't feel great, so your diet goes to shit. You don't train the same. It's the reverse. So when TRT kicks in, you want to train better, you want to eat better, you look after yourself better, and then that snowballs again.
It's even like, I was thinking about this the other day, like one of the things that people think is like, right, I've got to go straight onto testosterone. And there is other ways, like we've had guys on HCG to get their own natural testosterone up. But that's where these companies, these big companies, they don't even suggest that.
That's what we did with the lad who's 21. Yeah. Just HCG. A couple of times a week. And that was it.
Yeah, what did it go back up to?
He's by, I think, like low 20s.
Yeah. Which is fine, yeah.
Like, yeah, because he was at 2.8 and it was kind of like, okay, you're 21, like let's see if we can do this with HCG and get you back in normal range before we put testing.
That's one of the things as well, is people think, oh, I've got to jump straight on test and I don't want to jab test the rest of my life, and I don't want, and it's like, that's not just the only way to do it. There's a number of ways to get your testosterone back up. It's just people, or like I say, people who are selling the supplying the drugs are not going to want to sell you that, because they're going to want to sell the drugs.
Yes.
Yeah, so like, even with us, this is what I was saying to a lot of guys, is like, we're covering everything. We're not just covering, like, there's your testosterone, go away, do what you want, like with your diet and stuff. We are literally covering nutrition, training, mental side of things. It's even like, even from experience with myself, of like going to therapy and opening them doors for people, like breaking down that sort of stigma between, like, because I don't know if you want to, but like we had a conversation, didn't we? And it was like, oh shit, like Ryan's been like that. Because how I look at it is like personal development. It's not, oh, I've got issues and I need to go to therapy. It's like, as we said before, we don't have that many people to speak to. And if you're the go-to guy for a lot of people, then, and you're, say, in your family, or you're a quote-unquote man, like, it's all looked upon as like a bit of a taboo thing to go to therapy, innit? Like, and then once you've been through that process, and we can obviously then advise people on that side of things, it's like, you realise, oh, like, I just need to know more about myself, rather than it's being like, we've got the physical side of things, we've got the hormone side of things, and it's like, right, okay, well, if we've still got these things that we want to learn about ourselves, it's like, why is there this stigma of like, you have to have a mental illness to be able to then go and speak to somebody who's a professional?
Yeah.
It's a very, very strange one, where people think, oh, there's something wrong, innit? And there actually isn't something wrong. It's just you wanting to know more. Like, I always have the thing where your brain is the most complex thing, and life is probably the hardest thing is the hardest thing you'll ever go through. Like, why do we think we're experts in that?
We're not.
We're not at all.
We do everything to look after our physical health, and then we do next to nothing for our
mental health.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Once you've got all the other factors in place, and then you start seeing the results, and you start seeing, you're like, I just want to be the best version I can possibly be. Do you mind touching on that experience? Or
yeah, it was, like I said, it was through, you'd mentioned it, and then Aaron had, and I'd kind of like thought about it for a while, but it was sort of that, like, I don't want people to know.
Yeah.
And I was like, bollocks to it, like, these two.
Yeah.
So I went to see a guy called Nick, and it wasn't like I actually needed to like talk about anything, but I'd had like that brain fog for so long, and it was like, I was kind of like my mind's always like very organised, like OCD organised, and it was like someone had been in and just like tipped all these files out, and there was just shit everywhere. It was just kind of like, I just needed to speak to someone to kind of like realign all my thoughts, and it was just like giving you that different perspective, like completely unbiased. And it was like when I was thinking about leaving my job and things like that, and it was just nice to be able to speak to somebody completely impartial, unbiased, and just kind of ask you difficult questions to make you think about yourself.
That's one of the things that I found, is like, they ask you them questions and you're like, oh, I've never even thought of that. And then even giving you like maybe the reasons of why you, like, so even with like black and white thinking, or like your I think a lot of our opinions and a lot of our the way we view ourselves is down to external information, never what our own thoughts are. It's not like what we think about ourselves. It's more like, we've taken this information from this person, and we've taken this information from parents, or the way our life's been before. Not many people sit there and actually reflect and go, oh, why do I think that? Why have I got that opinion? Like, they just gather these opinions and they basically press record, press play, and they just regurgitate somebody else's opinions that's not actually their own views. So when then people, like, when the guys are asking you the questions, it gives you that time. So how was that, like, going through that? Was it difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult, because I've always kind of kept myself to myself.
What's the reason behind that? It's just that's the way you are, or?
Yeah, it's just the way I've always been.
Yeah.
Until more recently. Thank you, Ryan.
It's funny because I don't do it intentionally. I just do it like when I'll see something. I'm like, why though? And like I just ask. I'm just inquisitive, and then it gets. I think we said it about the guy in the gym, like, and he said something. I was like, but why? And then he was like, his brain just went.
Yeah, it did. I remember that. I remember that conversation.
Yeah, and he was like, you could see him thinking that I don't actually know. Like I don't know why. Right, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
And just having them little, we call it like planting the seed, just little drops of the planting the seed. It's like gets people thinking a little bit more than just being on autopilot, doesn't it?
What surprised me a little bit, though, and even though like this was private therapy as such, as we were chatting, I was telling him about TRT, because he was like, "How have you come to be here?" This and the other. Obviously, like when you go to something like that, they give you the anxiety, depression questionnaires to do and things. So I was like, TRT, whatever. He had absolutely no idea about it.
Even.
And I was kind of thinking, okay, but it presents itself in this way. This is what you're a specialist in.
Yeah.
I was really shocked that he didn't have any knowledge of that, because you'd be kind of thinking, okay, if I've got all these guys coming in with the same sort of thing, like you'd be thinking, tell them.
Yeah,
It could be this. This is another.
It's just another option. Yeah, it's just another question. It's not just, is your life at home all right? Is your job all right? Is it this? It's like that should be one of the factors that's taken in. I feel anyway, that's taken into consideration when guys are coming in with these sort of, because like we say, being around people of our age, you see it all the time, and you're just thinking like, your life's from the outside in, your life's good, like you've got everything, you ticked all the boxes that you should have done, like you've got your own house, you've got a great career, you've got a missus, and it's kind of like there's no real reason externally to be feeling like this. So like when he delved into obviously in stuff like talking about like feeling, how was it opening up about your feelings? Was it difficult? Like, yeah, is that because like, do you feel like, I don't know, even though they don't judge you, is it kind of like vulnerable?
Yeah, yeah, but it was so different to me because it's what I've just never ever done before. It's like within a family, like dad builder, granddad builder, it's just like you just get on with shit.
Shut
like
up and put up.
No one talks
Yeah.
about anything, so it was like I'd gone like 30 years of just keeping all your emotions to yourself, and then you sat one-to-one with someone asking you questions, you're a bit like, shit.
Yeah, it's a weird one as well, because I remember you saying to me like, it feels like you're going to be, you see it in the films, don't you, like where you're led on a bed and the guy's got like a notepad and it's like...
I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah,
what sort of film?
Yeah, that's where he's literally like, you're led on a bed and he's like ticking off things. It's like, it's not that experience at all, is it?
It's like this.
Yeah.
We were just sat having a conversation, yeah. And
then it slowly, as you obviously come away from that every week, then you start thinking like, oh, you mentioned that, or maybe that's the reason I do that, or like, I think what did he say to you? Something like, was it about leaving your job? What did he say to you about leaving your job? It was like, why not? Like, you was like, I can't leave my job. Was that what it was?
The reason why I went to see him as well, because he actually used to work at the same place I did, and he'd left and gone to do something else. So I knew he had that inside view of where we worked and what that environment was like. He'd left that and obviously gone to do something else. So I thought he's going to be like the ideal person. But just like the way he went about it, it wasn't him saying like, well, I've done it so you can do it. It was kind of like, have you always been able to make money? Have you always been able to do this? And it was just like, actually, yeah, I can do that. I can leave my job.
Yeah, giving you that sort of perspective on it. And basically, I just call it like a trigger puller. It's kind of like, not that you're asking for permission, but then when people around you have got that optimism, because again, it goes back to like the older generation. It's like, I guess was people shocked when you left?
It was mixed. I think people who really knew me, so like parents, like you, like were absolutely made up.
Yeah.
That I'd done it.
Grooming you? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Well, that day, I'd handed my notes in, and I'd gone to the gym that afternoon, and I don't think you were training, but you'd still come in.
Right.
And I just like went, I've done it, and you're like, what? I was like handing my notes in, and you hugged me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is getting a bit uncomfortable now. This has been like 4 minutes.
No, it wasn't 4. It was about 3.5 minutes. And I'm glad that you counted that.
But then there was other people who was like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
you've been doing this 10 years. Like, I was at the top of the pay scale, so like my salary was good. Pension, it was like the most secure job in the world. So like if something like COVID hit again, my job was bulletproof.
Yeah.
So like people, I think there was one aspect, it's like people's genuine concern as much as like, what are you doing? Like, have you
ruined your life?
Yeah, and then there's that other side of it where it's like people sort of own insecurities as much of like, well, I want to do that, but I've not got the bollocks to do it, so I'm going to tell you shouldn't do that.
That was one of the things as well, innit? Like you were saying, like your co-workers was like almost, I think you said you was not embarrassed, but like reluctant to tell them because you'd done it, and they was like still stuck in that sort of rut. Yeah. How have you found your life now, not like having the freedom and?
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever.
Do you think I think as well, it's like shifting your values, like not being stuck in that rut of like paycheck, like how much money am I making, how much pension have I got. It's like the one thing I ask everyone is like, are you happy?
Yeah.
Like not even are you happy, like have you got peace of mind?
Yeah.
Like yes, you're secure, yes you've got your job and you might be in it for another 10, 20 years or whatever, but can you live that same 10, 20 years? Because I remember you saying like PTSD from just driving down the road of going back to when we were going to Hull, that show, I'd not driven that way to get to your house, and past where I used to work for quite a while, and it was that similar time in the morning. It was like 7:45, so it was the time I would be driving to, but it was a Sunday, and I was just driving. I was like getting sort of like palpitations, like sweaty palms. Like, I'm not even. I've left. I don't work there anymore, but I'm still feel
affected by this. Yeah,
like
but now it is the freedom.
The freedom, yes.
It's like obviously you need a certain level of income to survive and pay your bills. But beyond that, I'm not arsed. It's that freedom and time. Yeah,
that's what I always say is like conversations we've had in the past is like time rich, energy rich, and then enough money to not survive, but enough money to enjoy that time and enjoy that freedom. Yeah. It's like even if you've got to take £1,000 less a month, it's like, but that you'll then obviously find more money because you actually got, because I mentioned to you, I said you won't be able to do anything until you get out that headspace, because you were so caught up in that sort of working mentality and you didn't really have any sort of brain power to actually push on with it, did you? You was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, like I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing. And then you've seen that as well with other people that still work there, haven't you? Yeah,
because I still meet up with a few of the guys, and you almost like you have to downplay.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
how nice I've kind of got it now, because I know how shit they've still got it, and it's getting worse. So you kind of end up saying, it's stressful, and it's like, actually no, I'm having the best fucking time ever. Like, I'm just not going to tell you that.
Yeah, because it's difficult when people are in that situation. But then you're probably in the position where I was in when I seen you go through that, and I was like, just fucking leave. Just what are you doing? I wouldn't say you're wasting your life, but like if you're not happy in a situation, then change it.
Not that you were wasting your life, but I was wishing my life away.
Really?
Because it was like Monday to Friday. It was like you was like, I can't wait for Friday night, because then I'm off. And then it was like 6 weeks, and then it's half term. So you were counting down days. You're like, oh, we've got like 20 more teaching days, 19 more. It was like, I'm literally counting my life away to have 1 week off.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we're back in for 6 weeks, and then we're off. And
you were saying that as well, weren't you? When, like, even when you was away, you couldn't really relax. Like, you're thinking, oh my God, I've got to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that I think that's one of the things with people as well. It's like, it is daunting, and it's a massive thing to literally shift your whole life. But then, as you said, then it's like the happiest you've ever been. Even with like less money, less like so on, it's like it doesn't really matter if you're not fucking happy.
I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore. It genuinely doesn't matter, does it? It's
No.
Today's rest day.
Yeah, and we understand not everybody can do that with responsibility of kids and so on. But even like yourself, you had a house, you had like payment, you had like mortgages and stuff to pay for. But it's just a matter of, again, going through that TRT thing, and then feeling like, wow, I feel fucking back to my normal self. And then it's like, okay, it's what they say, isn't it? Like, once you've done one bad phone call, it's like, oh, fuck it, everyone's getting it today. Like, this is going. Like, you kind of just like, I'm on a roll here. Fuck it, yeah. I'm just gonna change it all. But so yeah, like you found obviously the more freedom and so on. And then I said to you before as well, like, you almost have to be willing to jump, and not to get too spiritual on it, but like know that you're gonna something's gonna catch you because you took that leap, and it's like, oh, okay. And now you're using your experience from education, from your TRT stuff, from your training side of things to help people in that position, which is fucking massively like fulfilling and rewarding, it.
Yeah, because like you're genuinely changing people's lives, and having been there myself, knowing how it feels and where we can get you to, like, it's the most rewarding thing. Yeah,
and then, like you say, it's appreciated as well on the back end of that. So yeah, I think with the coaching side of things now, it just opens us up to have so many more people that we can help. But it's just us getting that message out there to people. And again, because you've been at that point, it's very easy for us then to tell. Like, even remember Carl, who signed up the other week. Like, even with Carl, I said to him, send me as many questions as you can, because then I can learn like what we need to bring to the service, what we need to obviously deliver. So that we are then, like we do with the frequently asked questions, it's just like, right, if that's a question, we give a solution. If that's a question, solution, just to make it so it's just smooth and easy to go through, innit?
Because when I actually did his consult call, and he'd gone to the same private clinic I had.
Oh yeah, he sent me his results, yeah.
And we had that conversation about our experiences, and it was the same.
Exactly the same, yeah. I think all of them are the same, similar to that, innit? So like, with TRT, like, in a sense of like, what do you feel? So the symptoms, just so people are clear, the symptoms are of low testosterone or what?
So low energy, low mood, poor sleep, lack of progress in the gym, kind of like your self-care,
libido
starts to go low, sex drive, low motivation.
That's one of the things, just for people who obviously are listening to this, they're gonna be like probably ticking off a lot of them in their head, in it. So that's a good thing to cover. With the side of like, obviously with the coaching side of things, where do you feel like you want to take coaching? Like, what's your sort of like idea of it?
It is very much like supporting guys who were in my situation and lifestyle. Yeah.
And just changing that for the better, in the sense of like mental, physical, and emotionally. Yeah,
because let's say with the private clinics, you were getting just your testosterone sorted and absolutely nothing else. There was no support, so we put all that in place for someone. It's just life changing.
Life changing, wicked. Well, the newest member of Purpose Driven, Dan. He's now come off. We made your Instagram public, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's mixed. I had to change my name as well.
I know. I thought you can't just have your normal name.
It wasn't my normal name, but because like teaching for so long, it was like I am having absolutely zero online presence.
Yeah, you didn't have any, did you? Like at all? No, that was funny, because when I was away in Bali, I was like, "Can you post on my Insta?" Because of the reach. Yeah. Oh my god!
I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, I was. When I went to Bali, the reach, if it picks it up in like I'm in a different place, it then sends it to people from that place.
But you've gone from like, was it like 5 million views to like 60,000 as well? So like the reach was nothing.
Yeah, it was mental. And I was like, Dan, can you just post this on my Instagram from the UK? How? I was like, right.
Then you're like, can you tag Tom in it? I was like, I
don't. And then I was so proud of you the other day when you actually you posted up a story. I was like, fuck. fucking influencer. Yes. Yeah, he's on it now.
Danny's real.
That was one of the things. We had a client over from America. What did she say?
But she'd referred quite a few.
She came over to train with us, didn't she?
Yeah. And the first one she referred through, obviously, like came to me, and I reached out, and it was like, Dan.
Who's
Dan? She's like, I've never heard of Dan.
It's
and
a
then,
scam.
she come over and obviously met me, and she was like, Danny's real.
Yeah,
she hashtagged everything, didn't she? Hashtag Danny's real.
Yeah, he's a real guy. He's actually a real guy. But it's nice because people get to, when they do the consults as well, like they get the first person they speak to is you.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can go through that process with them, which is great because, again, it's not a sales call. It's not looking at like, right, we're trying to sign you up. We're just trying to give you as much information as possible so you can go away with and think, oh, okay, like, yeah, that's...
It's just like a genuine conversation as to like, where are you at? Where do you want to be? This is how we can get you there.
Yeah.
And that's been great because obviously like anyone that signs up like comes through me, whether they come to me coaching you or Tom. And now, because like I've spoke to all these guys, even if they come to you or Tom, seeing their transformations,
we put it in the
you get that like bit of pride from that because I've been part of that, like Keith,
and
like
he's
Sean
coming down to train actually soon,
and Stu and stuff recently, like
you see it like where they started at, and then and it's almost as well because I say this all the time, we're not selling anything to anyone, it's more just allowing them to give them the nudge that they need or the confidence to go, oh yeah, it's actually possible. You know what I mean? And then when you see that transformation, you're like, told you.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well, is we have guys that come to us who, it's just like, let's touch on Sean there, it's like, he came to me, was it for 8 weeks? He did an 8-week cut, and then he's like, I want to get back on stage.
I know, that's nuts.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that the other day.
But because the thing is as well, because he's seen the results he can get, he said to me, like, I've not looked anywhere near, even when he competed before, years ago, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago, he was like, I've not actually looked this good ever, and I'm on less anabolics, and I'm the best I've ever looked. Like, if we push this to a prep now, it's going to be next level. And the same with Keith, who's coming in and he's like, I want to get into online coaching, I'm a PT and so on. He now understands the level of coaching that is needed in order to do that, and then his physique has just gone crazy, hasn't it? And he's now competing.
I remember when I spoke to Keith the first time round, and he'd said about PTing and coaching, and I was like, you've got two aspects to this now then. So you'll get your physical transformation, but you will learn so much along the way from it. And he was kind of like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, it's not just here's your plan. I was like, everything is explained, like you will get so much knowledge from this. And then when I spoke to him, because he did 3 months, then I spoke to him again, and he was like, if I'd have known I was going to get this level of service, it was like, I would have paid more.
I was like, we can't ask for more.
Like, don't tell me that, mate.
The price will go up.
Let me just get a different Stripe link for you.
But yeah, that's what it is with coaching. Is I said to you, I was watching that Steve Jobs documentary, and he was saying like, economy and business land at the same time. People are just going to pay more for a better service, and that's like it sat with me, and I thought that's what it's about. It's like making sure that people think, fuck, like this. We always say it in the group all the time with the coaching group, it's like over deliver, like literally over deliver on everything, because then, and we were saying it before, the retention of clients is huge, because they get to one level, like what they never thought they could get to within 12 weeks. And then like, shit, where can I actually take this? Which is brilliant. So you've got a few clients now on the 8-week Elite Physique. They're all going well, isn't it? We're going to do a photo shoot with you, get you peeled. You look really good now. Like you look really good, and it's just that extra push. How many weeks? 3-4 weeks?
3 more.
Yeah, 3 more.
Well, Tom told me 3 more about 6 weeks ago. So.
And then I'm like, do a bit more.
Do a bit more.
I think, again, it's taking it to that level of conditioning, that standard is what we're known for. So it's kind of like we have to do that.
I'm happy to push, like I said to you, because like my food's still really good.
Yeah.
We've got so much leeway with that. So I'm just happy to take it.
Yeah.
Take it all the way.
What have you found like the biggest struggles from going from being a teacher to coaching? Is there anything difficult?
Probably just like actually managing your own time. We spoke about this with Tomo last week, didn't we? About that freedom. like with teaching, your life was dictated by a bell. So every hour a bell went and everything moved. But now it's kind of like you can get up when you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want. So it is like, that's why I like having the cardio in first thing.
Yeah.
Get up. And it's just making sure you structure your day.
But yeah, so that you, and I think the beauty of that is like, yes, we can sit in Starbucks and chat for 4 hours, but then we can also, if you've got, it's the time that you've got can actually, you like return on investment on that time, you can actually utilize your time a lot more efficiently than being like, oh, I've got to be here, I've got to be there. And it's like, if you structure your day right, it's what I said to you about a year ago now. It's like, I just structure my day as like the perfect day. Like, what do I want to do to be the best, perform the best for me, which then allows me to be the best for other people. And having that structure in there is massive, isn't it?
I think the other thing is working with people one-to-one, because you can dedicate so much time to that one person to get them to where they want to be. Whereas like if you've got a class of 30 kids and you've got an hour with them, like you might be teaching, like actually stood teaching for 20 minutes, but you've got 40 minutes left, 30 kids, like they're getting at best a minute of your time each that lesson. It was like you just can't have the impact that you need. I was saying this to you the other day, though, when you sent me your onboarding videos, I was like, okay, you're better than me at this. I was like, bastard. Like, yeah, so I was it was it's nice to have you on board, though. I appreciate like everything that you're doing for the team, and I'm just excited for the future, mate. I just can't wait like to keep pushing this, educating more people on it, and then getting you helping as many people as possible. I think the team is perfect now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the three of us, like, we live this far apart.
Unless I fuck off across the world.
Except for that, and like, training together, like we speak every single day. Like the team is so settled and everything's just moving in the right direction, isn't it?
Yep. So anyone who is thinking about TRT or anyone who's got any issues, just reach out. That's the one thing that we want to say, is just reach out. It won't cost you a thing. We just want to help, whether you work with us or don't work with us. It's just putting your mind at rest in it. Yeah,
like there's not much support out there, but there is, like, from us guys, like, it is difficult to get that support from elsewhere. Even just having a conversation with people, like, so few people know about it.
Yeah.
Just message us.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
we will have that conversation with you. Like, we'll advise you on whatever you need.
Yeah, perfect. Well, lovely having you on. You'll be on more. You'll see more of Dan's face.
I don't know if me and Tom are going to fit on this.
Like, subscribe, all that jazz. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.